Hello, my name is Thor Heidman and I will be presenting an El Monte School District profile. The mission statement of El Monte School District states, "Our purpose is to educate all students to develop skills, knowledge, and attitudes to be productive and fulfilled individuals able to succeed ethically in a democratic society." So a little bit of background information on El Monte School District. Their finances for the last school year was $88.5 million, and so this funding goes from everything for students, teachers and faculty, administrators, and any other kind of miscellaneous or side budget things that the school wants to do. And so for that money, they use it for 8,000 students that are enrolled in the district. Enrollment has declined in recent years from the 2013 school year. They're losing about 250 students a year, and I don't seem to know why that is, but they do seem to be disappearing. Demographics. So of the students at the school, a majority of them are Hispanic or Latino. The next most populous demographic is going to be Pacific Islander or Native Hawaiian, and that's also revealed in the languages that are spoken at the school. So there are many languages represented. They have Mandarin, Cantonese, and Vietnamese, but their primary languages that are spoken are Spanish and Tagalog. Tagalog, of course, is from the Philippines, which, of course, is the Pacific Islander descent. Next is the LCAP. In the LCAP, from the El Monte School District website, they have this focus from the priority of the states. However, in their LCAP, they focus on student achievement, learner engagement, parent involvement, and foundational supports. So the ones that the state has set, they've kind of merged those into these four categories. So as for the strengths, the first strength El Monte has is the student achievement and English learning. They also have they're increasing their parent involvement. Their class sizes are going down, and their music program seems to be making some more gains. So student achievement with ELs. So there's been a growth for students in ELs. They're doing better in their classes. They're not quite meeting the annual target. However, there is a slight increase. There's also been a high increase over the last few years of students that have been reclassified as fluent in English. Over the last year, there has been a drop, but because there has been gains, they're not having so many students that need to be reclassified anymore. The next area that's a strength is their parent involvement. So the school funds $35,000 in the last year for EL parent workshops. These help parents learn English so they can not only communicate with the school but also communicate with the public out here that doesn't speak any Spanish. That way they're more able to find work or find more opportunity. Another area that they've been doing well in is class sizes. So the El Monte School District wants to get their class sizes to 24:1, and to do this they've increased funding for new teachers, and they've invested they're trying to invest about $1 million for this, but they're also losing students. Like I said earlier, there's been a decrease of about 250 students a year, and so that's really driving down the class sizes, but it will help with the new teacher hiring to help kind of make those class sizes even smaller, so they're well on their way to meeting their target. They're also making gains in music. They've been reforming their music program. They've bought new equipment, and they're also allotting money, so equipment that gets damaged or broken can get fixed, and so their music program can do better. And they've also instituted a dance program, so they kind of get that music, and then they also get the exercise from the dance. So looking at the needs of El Monte School District, school climate, especially when looking at suspension rates. We also have mathematics, ELA, and the visual arts. So the first area that, the first need of El Monte School District is the school climate. There's not a very safe climate based on the numbers of suspensions. So looking at the graph, we can see an increase in overall suspensions, but there's a huge increase in violence without injury as well as weapons. And these two statistics alone make for a very unsafe feeling school and can make learning a little bit more challenging for the students there. They've also decreased their funding by about $100,000 over the last year, and therefore I don't know what their plan is. There's been a decrease this last year, but weapons have definitely been an issue in school, and so it's an unsafe feeling environment. Another need is in mathematics. So the school is reporting a little bit better results in mathematics. However, they recognize that they're 6 to 9% behind the state average, and so they're working on increasing professional development with their teachers to better the instruction for mathematics. The same with ELA. They've seen a little bit better results in ELA. However, they're 10% behind the state average, and that's explainable by their high rate of ELs. However, they definitely see this as something they need to do, and so what they're going to do is institute a reading focused instruction so students are getting exposed to more literature. The last area that El Monte needs to focus on is visual arts. There is little to no visual arts instruction in the school, and the school recognizes this and they want to renew a program for visual arts. And so this leads into recommendations. My first recommendation would be to increase support services, I should say, for the students themselves, especially those students that are getting into trouble, especially for suspension. It might be a way to help mediate some of the behaviors in class. We can measure this by how much mediation is required to help these students not engage in behaviors, whether that be a counselor or other kind of just support people on staff. And so you can measure that through through how many incidents decrease based on the amount of help you hire. Next is in mathematics. So maybe putting an inquiry-based approach to mathematics with science and look for increases in achievement on the students. I know incorporating an inquiry-based approach throughout the entire curriculum is difficult. However, the school is planning to use a large amount of money for professional development in mathematics, and that money might be best served used with mathematical instruction for inquiry-based learning. Additionally, we have low-income support. The school does provide $10,000 for support for low-income families. However, another way they can help is possibly doing food drives, clothing drives, help parents any way they can at home. That way these kids are getting clothed and getting fed, and the measures will be seen by how students are coming into class and they're not hungry anymore when they come in the door and they're not cold. So that'd be something nice to see. And lastly, the arts. The school has definitely been making some improvement in the arts realm, but putting a time on how much arts instruction is required in a week. I know it's difficult with the amount of instruction that's required already, but at least getting 1 hour a week for that visual arts, or finding some way to incorporate visual arts into math, science lessons. That way students are getting a little bit more input from the visual arts. And they also, with music, making sure every student gets a chance to at least try a musical instrument. And so that concludes my presentation. Here are the references I used for the PowerPoint. All of the data came from the El Monte School District LCAP, and all graphs came from the eddata.org, which collects all the data for many school districts. So thank you for watching.